Mm, mm, mm. Hey, everybody. Good morning to you, to you, to you. Good morning, everybody. Lordy, 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 Lord. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Good morning, everybody. Good morning, everybody. I just had to stop by and say good morning to everybody while I'm getting ready for my day. If you haven't noticed yet, I dropped a book at midnight last night. Faith, Family, Freedom, the RosieXperience. And let me tell you, this has been a long awaited journey. I have so many supporters who have been with me from the beginning of the RosieXperience. I am Rosie. I am a domestic violence survivor. I am an author. I'm a single mother. And I've been through a lot in my life, but none of that has ever stopped me from following my purpose, from doing what God has me on this earth to do. And I wrote a book called Faith, Family, Freedom, the RosieXperience. And it's now available. The link is in my bio on all of my social media accounts. And I'm so elated. Now listen, you guys. How often have you went to a restaurant, sat there, looked at the menu, and still bought? Like, you spent upwards of $50, $60 to $100 on some food that's full of MSG that's going to leave your stomach extremely soon, and you're going to be hungry again before you even get home. How many times have you done that? I've been guilty of it. I know you have too. How many times have you went to the shoe store and saw some shoes that were so fire and you spent about $100, $150 on them, only for those same shoes to start either hurting your feet or looking crazy, or somebody steps on them and you gotta go buy some more? Like, how often do we go to the store and buy some clothes that we think we look fire in, and then we wind up not even liking it after we get it home, or we wear it once or twice and never wear it again, or it gets ripped, or we outgrow it? We spend money every single day. That's like, America is all about commerce. We spend money all the time. Everything is always forcing us to spend money, right? So why not try spending money on something that's going to feed your soul, something that's never going to leave you dry, something that is always going to keep you full? My book, Faith, Family, Freedom, the RosieXperience, not only outlines the life of a domestic violence survivor, but it also is the blueprint to anybody who wants to know how to navigate through life trusting God. If you don't know what it feels like to put your full trust in God, you need to read this book. Because not only did God pull me out of multiple different situations, but He is still guiding me. I am not who I was once before. If I was on this live almost 3 years ago, I would be cussing. I'd probably be wearing something that's showing my body. I would be a totally different person. God completely redirected my life and changed the way that I think, the way that I speak, the way that I respect myself. God did that. And not only that, but He raised my self-esteem to such a standard that I won't allow anybody to play with me anymore. And there's nothing that I can do to show my gratitude to God but share my testimony. My testimony is going to help so many people. Not just people who have been victims, not just people who are still being victimized, but also people who don't understand the mindset of a victim. People who question, like, why would you allow someone to do this to you? Well, sometimes it's not you allowing them to do it to you. Sometimes you just feel like you have no other choice. You have no hope. Yes. Good morning. Go get dressed. Sometimes you feel like you have no hope. Sometimes you feel like you can't do anything. And that's the devil lying to you. We get lied to every single day, and we believe those lies. But if you go to the link in my bio, you will have a signed copy. The first 10 people to purchase my book is getting a signed copy and a gift. But anyways, pre-sales, I put them up at midnight last night, and I already had 3 people buy it, and it's only been up for a couple hours. So if you want to be one of the first 10 people, you got to get on it, because there's only 7 spots left for the first 10 people. But I'm so elated because not only do I see the vision more clearly now, but more people are starting to see it. More people are starting to understand what God is doing in my life. More people are starting to sign on to the Rosie Experience, and it makes me feel so good because this was never a selfish thing. This was never just about me. It's always been about the greater good. It's always been about other people. It's always been about sowing positive, good seeds on good ground. That's what the Rosie Experience has always been about. And thank you so much for the likes, Betty. I see you. That's what the Rosie Experience has always been about. And I'm just so elated that I get to share it with you guys. I get to share it, and you get to indulge in it as well. This is not just about me. And if you go click on my pre-sale link and you're not convinced, I have a testimony, a video testimony from my author coach, from one of my followers here on TikTok, and then I have 14 written testimonies from people who have either known me in my life or who have signed on to the Rosie Experience, explaining what my experience is doing for their soul. I'm not just talking. The streets is talking too. That's all I'm saying. I love you guys enough to share this with you. I love you guys enough to open your heart. I love you guys enough to be vulnerable, right? Vulnerability takes a lot. Who wants people to know that they've been through that? Who wants people to see a picture of their bruised up face? Who wants people to know that their ribs have been broken? Who wants people to know that they were once financially extorted? Who wants people to know that they were sexually abused by the person that they were in a relationship with? Who wants people to know all of these things? It's not something that I just want to tell people. It's something that God has placed in my spirit to share, because he allowed it to happen to me. What's up, sis? The link is in my bio. You said you was going to purchase. Go ahead. But God cultivated my heart into a space where I'm not embarrassed about anything I've been through. There was a point in time where I was embarrassed while I was going through it, and even after I left at first, where I was like, I'm not telling nobody, I'm just going to keep this to myself. But I no longer feel like that. And the reason why I feel like this is because there are so many women out there who probably haven't been through as deep rooted of abuse as I've been through, but they've been financially extorted, right? They've been told what they could and couldn't do with their finances, or they've been with the man who was the only one working, who told them what they could and couldn't do. There are women out there who have had children and had to survive by themselves while they were pregnant and still in a relationship. When I had my first child, it wasn't even my child, it was my sister's child. I started taking care of my sister's child when I was a teenager. Okay? That was my first kid. He's 13 now. My second child, which is my first child that I birthed, I was married to her father. He abused me every single day. He cheated on me. He made me feel like crap, but at the same time, he showed so much love and affection. So I was confused. It was my first relationship. I got with him when I was 19. I didn't understand that wasn't real love, because my dad treated my mom the same way, and they were married my whole childhood. So even though I knew it didn't feel right, I didn't know that I deserved more. This book outlines that, and how I allowed God to navigate me out of that, but still wound up in an even worse situation afterwards. And do you want to know how that occurred? I wound up in a worse situation than my ex-husband because I did not allow myself to heal. My ex-husband literally attempted to kill me. I took my nephew and my daughter to a domestic violence shelter to get away from this man, but I had already started a new relationship. Didn't take the time out to vet this person and realize if this person was a safe person. And by the time I get out the shelter, I'm already pregnant by him. He starts abusing me too, to the point that he's pulling guns out on me while I'm pregnant. So I couldn't leave him mentally, right? Because when you've been through a lot and you get out and you wind up in a lot again, you're like, oh God, dog, I can't tell nobody. I'm in a worse situation now than I was before. And that was my life. I was like, I just got out of a shelter. How can I tell my mama that I am literally pregnant by somebody who was worse than the man that she just helped me get away from? I didn't feel like I had a voice. I was voiceless. I was voiceless to the point that I allowed Satan to take my voice. And for 3.5 years, I stayed with the man that I wanted to leave. Within probably like 2 months of dating him, I wanted to leave him. But he started to scare me. Like, I was already pregnant. I got pregnant extremely quick when I started dating him. And he was scaring me so bad that I felt like I could not leave him. So I stayed with him for 3.5 years and we had 3 kids. Sex was a requirement. I couldn't tell him no. That's another part of the abuse. You're going to have to read the book. But when our last child was 2 months old, he broke my ribs. That story is in the book, so I'm not going to go deep into that story, but he broke my ribs. And that's when I said, I got to go. You would have thought I would have said I had to go when he broke my jaw, right? But no. The reason why I didn't leave when he broke my jaw is because I kicked him out and he came back. And I kept kicking him out and he kept coming back. So I was just like, you know what? Do you, bro. Do you. But I detached from him. So I was living with a monster that I didn't want to be with. But I was still having sex with him because he would not leave. And it was a requirement. When you're with someone who is narcissistic and abusive, not only do they not care about your feelings, but they also will abuse you in every way possible. So financial abuse, yes. Sexual abuse, yes. Drug abuse, yes. So many layers to it. This book is going to show you how I never lost faith. So many things happened to me where I could have just laid down and died and said, you know what? This is the end. I almost took my life so many times. But God, I made a decision in my mind that no matter what happened, I was not going to leave my kids. Because I feel like one of the most selfish things to do is to take your life when you have children. I don't want to sound insensitive, but that's very selfish. Because if you, as a grown, fully capable adult, can't even handle what life throws at you, what do you think your babies is going to do if you're gone? If your babies wind up being raised by someone other than you who don't love them as much as you do, what do you think they are going to do? Don't you think that cycle might repeat? And plus the fact that they know that you took their life and your life and you're their mother, they're going to repeat the same toxic cycles, if not worse. Taking your life as a parent is one of the weakest things you can do. And I can say that because I almost took mine. So I'm capable, I'm qualified to give that type of assessment. It would have been the quickest cop out. I could hurry up and just go grab his gun out his backpack and, okay? What about my kids who just watched me do that? They're going to have to live with that for the rest of their life. What about my kids who now have to be raised by the man who caused me to want to do that? What is he going to do to them? You got to think about other people, not just yourself. And that is why abuse survivors stay in the situations for so long. It's not because they're dumb, it's because they're selfless. They're selfless. If you can know that you're going to endure abuse while you try to figure out an escape plan, but you still stay in it so that you can make sure that you cover all bases for your kids, that's selfless. It's very selfless. So, Faith, Family, Freedom, the Rosie Experience is definitely something that everybody will learn from, that everybody can take something from, and that everybody can find value in. So I firmly stand behind my book. I firmly stand behind the pricing, and I firmly stand behind the things that God has told me about this book. I will be open to public speaking engagements. I will cultivate this book into a movie. And I will change lives. And when God says something, you can't stop it, you know? You cannot stop something that God ordains. You can't stop something that He ordains. You can try. Like, you can really try. You can try really hard, actually. But if God ordains it, baby, what you doing? What you doing? What are you doing? I'm trying to post this link real quick, y'all, because I'm trying to put it on Facebook too. But I'm not going to go live on Facebook yet. But God is truly amazing. And I just wanted to share that word with everybody. It's 7:30, so I got to finish getting my kids together. I'm going to end this live. But I don't want to end it without letting you know that there is value in this book. I am a person with a lot of followers on TikTok. I could easily be pushing content in your face to try and get you to buy, but I don't. So the fact that I'm standing firmly behind this, you got to know that there's something in here that is going to help you. I'm not just trying to sell something to you for no reason. This is not me selling this to you. This is me giving you the opportunity to indulge in this. Because the money that you spend on this book is extremely minimal to the food that you're going to be able to receive every time you open this book. You will never run dry, I promise you. But thank you for tuning in to my live. Like I said, I'm going to end this now. And I will be posting this live on all of my social media accounts so that people can see what we talked about. But God bless you. God bless everybody who came into my live today. God bless everybody who will be watching the repeat of this. And I just want to just leave you encouraged that you are special. Don't let nobody lie to you. Don't let nobody tell you that you hyping yourself up. You're special. There's nobody else on this earth like you. There's nobody else on this earth with your fingerprints. Hold on. And I said, hold on. There's nobody else on this earth with your fingerprints. There's nobody else on this earth with your mind. There's nobody else on this earth like you. It does not matter what you've been through. It matters where you're going. So just continue to strive for more and strive for greater. You never know what your life is going to entail. But if you lay down and die, that's all that's going to happen is death. God bless you. You have a blessed day. And again, thank you so much for tuning in.